This is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a layout for the Ireland scrapbook, and this one, as you knew this was coming, but this one is all about rainbows. You can't go to Ireland and not do a page with rainbows on it. This was the beginning of day 8 of our trip, and so there will be a day marker and just some fun things. So let's check it out. This is one of the May virtual crop sketches as well. So hopefully this will be helpful for you. And make sure that you stay tuned. I can't remember if I talked to you about this in the middle of the video or not, but make sure that you know about the longest day. And all the information for that is in the video somewhere, and also in the details of this video. So you can check there for a link and get over to that so that you can participate. It's going to be a super fun virtual event. And I feel very honored I get to participate this time around. So let's check out my workspace and we'll get started. All right, here's my workspace for today. Can you guess what we're going to be talking about or what photos we're doing today? This is the beginning of day 8 of our trip, and we were getting ready to leave Dingle and head to the northern portion of County Kerry, and we were greeted when we went down to breakfast with some amazing rainbows. And so I just thought it would be fitting to finally use some of the rainbow themed stuff that we've got in this layout for today. We're going to do the layout number 3 from May. And I realize that we are now into June, but I'm still kind of catching up. So I am going to be doing layout number 3, and we're going to use some of the papers from Feeling Bright. Now, Feeling Bright is an older collection. It came out in 2022, so it's been around for a while. And this was, if I'm not mistaken, this is the collection that we got when we went to Creative Minds Conference. So it wasn't readily available immediately in 2022. But I think they did bring it out and allow people to buy it later. I may be wrong, but I think they did. Anyway, these are the 3 papers we're going to use from this collection towards this layout for today. So let's go ahead and get started. We are also going to be using the Rainbow Border Maker cartridge that came out with this. And so you might not have it in your collection, but you probably have something with arches that you could use to kind of mimic a rainbow. And so hopefully you have something like that you can turn to use in this. You can see there's lots of bright colors, lots of weather and rainbows and things like that in this collection. So it has come in handy for doing these pages for Ireland. I'm here to tell you. Okay, so we are going to use the multi-rainbow paper. That's going to be this piece right here that's on both pages. This is a 12 by 6. That's pretty easy. So let's start there. We're going to go ahead and use the 12-inch trimmer. And we're going to want these rainbows to stay horizontal. So I'm going to turn my paper so the top is to the left, and that will help us keep our 6 by 12s going in the right direction. So again, I've got my little cheater piece up here that allows me to cut a 6 by 12 relatively quickly without having to put the arm out. And so here we go. Those 2 are ready. I'm just going to set them kind of up there to get them out of the way. Now we are going to use, let's see, the next section that I'm going to cut is this center section, and that's going to be 2 pieces that are 6 by 9. So those are going to be this paper with the sun and the clouds. Again, this is directional, so we want to make sure that the paper is reflecting that, so that the 9 by 12 and the clouds and the suns all stay going the right direction. So I'm going to take the top of this paper and turn it to the left and get the arm on my trimmer out so that we can measure appropriately. And we're going to measure at 9 inches and go ahead and cut there. This piece will be extra, so I'm just going to set that to the side over here. Then I'm going to take that paper and turn it back horizontally, and we're going to just cut that at 6 inches again, just like the other paper, right down the middle. Okay, so there are our 2 papers for the center. Now, the rainbow paper, this beautiful rainbow, almost an ombre rainbow paper. This one I kind of have hoarded for a while, to be completely honest with you. It is not it's not easy to find a paper that looks like this, so using it today has been a conscious choice. Let me just put it that way. And I want to see the whole rainbow in my cut piece. Okay, we're not going to see all of it obviously because some of it's going to get covered up, but we're going to cut this 1-inch strip from this rainbow paper. So we'll have 2 1-inch pieces. Then we're going to punch 1, 2, 3 borders. So we're going to punch 3 borders from this paper as well. And lest you think, well, she just got through telling us that how much she covets this rainbow paper, and then she's going to cover it up because look, you barely see this 1-inch piece. I'm actually going to flip it over and use the dot side for this. At least that's the plan in my head. So we will only see just a tiny bit of it here and here, but it'll be the dots. It won't be the rainbow part. Okay?
You gotta remember, Mama, thou shalt not covet.
Oh, I know. Well, I do my best. Okay, so let me put my trimmer over here, and we're going to go ahead and grab the Border Maker system so that we can punch 3 borders from this. So I'm just going to use my Rainbow Border Maker cartridge in the Border Maker housing, and so that these notches will match up, and we're going to punch away. If you are not familiar with our Border Maker system, I highly encourage you to look into it a little bit further. There are videos on my channel that can help you. I need to update those videos, so I'll be doing another one soon, probably. But this is very worthwhile and probably the best system that we have tool-wise. Not that I don't like any of our tools, but this particular one I use a lot, and I've gotten a lot of good, fun pages from using all the different cartridges and things that are combined with this. So I hope you have it. If you don't have it, you might want to look into it. There are links in the description of this video that you can use to learn more about the Border Maker system. Now, I've punched down both sides, so I need to trim those off because this is not a chain Border Maker. This is a edge Border Maker or border cartridge. So I'm going to line this up so that the base of the rainbow is right at 1/4 of an inch, or right at the edge of my cutting mat strip there. Okay, so that's how I'm going to cut that. And that's important to note so that all of your borders are the same. Okay, so there's 2, and we're going to do one more. Clean off some of this punch confetti, so we got that off of the table. All right, and then we'll trim this last one. Okay, so there are our 3 borders. Now I keep thinking that I have something laying across there. I don't, but I feel like I do. Okay, now we can use this paper to mat a photo, or we can use some cardstock. We'll have to try to lay this out and see. I wouldn't use this dot pattern for matting. It's a little too busy for me, but we might use this. I don't know, we'll have to see. Otherwise, I will put that away and save it for another rainy day. All right, so let's put the left side of this layout together quickly. So we're going to go ahead and grab one of our rainbow papers. And this particular rainbow paper I got from one of the Growing Up packets. I'll have to find out, and I'll add that to the information in the video, the details, the description of the video, so that if you are wanting this rainbow paper, you'll know where to find it. All right. So we're just going to adhere that across the bottom. Then we're going to take our 1-inch strip, and it's going to go across, right across the top of that. So just like so. Then we're going to take our clouds and sunshine. I like the gray stripe on the back of this. It's nice, neutral, gray and white. Just not something that I use very often. All right, so we're going to put this guy right up against the center. So it lines up right against the center and the top edge of your page. Okay, then we're going to take one of our rainbows, and I'm going to go with the blue, I think. And this one's going to not go there. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go with the other one. This one's going to go across the bottom like so. And because I am a Roy G. Biv person, again, we got to start with red and move our way into the other colors. So that's all well and good. So we're going to grab repositionable adhesive and go ahead and put this. I'm going to actually give it like about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. I'm not going to put it right along the bottom of the paper, just so we can maybe see a little bit more of the paper through it. I don't know, just an idea. Okay, so that's going to stay there. We're going to cut this one in half, and we're going to, you can see there how there's 3, and there's 3, and there's 3. So this is going to be the middle right here. So we just need our scissors, like my purple scissors. These are CM branded scissors. They are purple. They are from last year's Alzheimer's fundraising event. And hopefully you're going to participate in an event for that. If you haven't heard of it or you don't know anything about it, check the details of this video. I feel honored I get to present and help out with a wonderful Longest Day fundraiser that Nicole So has organized with 15 of our fantastic CM advisors coming together to give you some exclusive content for a wonderful price point. So hopefully that's something you'll take advantage of. I know it's well worth the minimal donation. Hopefully you'll be able to donate a little more, but if not, that's okay. Donate what you can. All right, so we're just going to put 6 inches of that across the top right there. Notice how I turned it so that the arches are going the other way. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab the other side of that layout and we'll assemble that one. All right, whoops, things are flipping around. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to again start with the rainbow paper. About 5 spots of adhesive on the back. And just a little dab on the edge there. Flush with the bottom and the jeeping in the middle. Now, if you're not familiar with that fundraiser that I just mentioned, go to the details of this video. There will be a link there that will take you to a donation site so that you can participate in that and have access to that fantastic content from some real all-star contributors. I feel so honored to be a part of that. And I just did that wrong. This needs to wait its turn. So I'm just going to loosen it up so that I can slip that 1-inch border underneath. And then we can put that down. My bad. Okay, here we go. All right. Again, just flush with the top of the rainbow paper.
Love you.
I love you too. All right, just like that. Then we're going to take our arches and do like this. And if you want to, you can put your pages together, and that way you can ensure that you're lining up your border with the other side. It's not as critical when it's only 1/4 of an inch from the edge, but you never know. There's that. And we're going to do some repositionable adhesive for this one. Again, I'm going to line it up just to help my eye make sure that that is coming in at the same spot, or as close to the same spot as I can. Like that. All right. Now, for the pictures that are going to go on here. I know this looks a little bit busy like this, okay? But let's check out the photos that we're going to put on. So several of these are enlargements that you're going to see. Isn't that so pretty? That's Dingle and Dingle Bay. And another picture, same rainbow, from the driveway of our hotel. We were up on a bit of a hill. And if I scoot those together, it almost gives the illusion of the rainbow going up and over like that. Cool, huh? Like I planned it that way. All right, so we could put both of these pictures, but I think I like this one better. It's got my mom and Michael both in that picture. And I think we'll save this one. Maybe one of the kids can use it in their album. Again, because this is the beginning of another day, we have our day marker, day 8. I know you're probably thinking, when is this trip going to end? She's just been in Ireland forever. And you're not far off. But, and I need to trim that just a little bit better. That is our map of the day and all the places that we were headed to on day 8. So we're starting down here in Dingle. We're going to drive up here to Listowel and visit a really cool museum that you're going to see a whole lot more about, probably more than you might even be interested in, but that's okay. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to visit a place called Bunratty Castle in Limerick. And then we're going to end our day at the Cliffs of Moher, and you're not going to want to miss that. That is going to be awesome. So, very, very cool stuff ahead. All right, so let me bring down the next page of photos. Again, another enlargement, which we'll kind of place right about there. And then again, it will look a little bit like it's just carrying through. I think we're going to need some peekaboo pockets for this one. But look at the vibrancy of that. Same rainbow. Same rainbow. This is our breakfast. I think I need to trim a few of these photos. I obviously did not look through these before starting this video. I organized these ahead of time, but I did not look at everything. So I like this photo over this one because you can see the whole rainbow, whereas here it kind of gets lost in the clouds. So I think we're going to just hold on to that picture for another day. This is our bus. This is our tour guide checking everything out on his bus before he came to pick us up. We just sort of happened to catch him because we were taking pictures. And more pictures of Dingle Bay. It's very much a fishing community right in that area. So really, really cool. I think that picture is going to go right in there. And we'll find somewhere for that breakfast to go. I'm not sure why I have this photo. You know, when you're on a trip with 9 people, people take pictures of the most interesting things. I think this was part of the wall that was right here around. That's where we ate breakfast in the mornings at this hotel. And it was beautiful with all the windows. You could just see the whole bay and everything. It was just gorgeous. And I think that may have been that wall right there. But because I don't know for sure, I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to trim this one up. I'm going to trim these up. Each of our rooms in the hotel had a little like name placard, and that's the same, so I could get rid of one of those. And so I just thought it might be kind of fun to include those in the layout. So I'm going to trim those up as well. So let me take a minute and do a little bit of cropping. This is the true nature of cropping. So we're going to use our photo trimmer, and I'm just going to, I'm going to set that one over there because I don't need it. We're just going to, I'm going to crop this and give it just the tiniest of borders around the edge of the square of the sign. And I'm not going to be heartbroken if it's not super even. I'm just going to try to give it a little bit of a border. All right, so then I can use these almost like embellishments on my page. And they are embellishments that mean something, so that's kind of cool because they have a memory attached to them. This one's getting down there into the small size. So those are done. We're going to trim this one up and make it just a little smaller so that we can fit that into our layout better. And we're going to trim this one up as well. Oop. There we go. You know what this is? I have to tell you. That is what I ate for breakfast both days that we were at this hotel, because the first time I had it, it was so yummy I had to eat it again. Do you do that? My husband will tell you I'm a creature of habit. I don't like to try new things, especially where food is involved. I really do prefer the things that I know are what the things I know I'm going to enjoy. And so I will often go out of my way to order the same thing at a restaurant over and over and over again. And that's just how I roll. So anyways, this is going to need a peekaboo pocket unless we decide we don't need it. I wonder if I could trim that just a little bit and then include both of those. Or we could put that up there. Overlap it a little. This really is a lot of photos on this page, but they all have a purpose and a meaning, so that's okay. I just think these would be better off being square. So let's do that. We'll make these square, and we might need to turn them into a peekaboo, but we'll see. So we're going to make these 4-inch square. And there's one. And there's 2. Okay. These 2 we can place right down here at a bit of a jaunty angle, as they say. And we'll leave that guy right up there to represent my breakfast. What can we do with these guys? They're just fun. And maybe we'll put the bigger ones kind of like that. You can see the room number is on the corner, but those are just sort of some fun names, and I am not going to try to pronounce them for you. Sorry, I know that may disappoint some of you, but I'm just not going to do it. All right, so we have one photo left, And I'm racking my brain as to if I have a picture of the hotel we were at. I know I do. I'm almost positive I do somewhere. So I'm not going to really stress about including that one just now. And if I need to add it, I will go back and add it somewhere else. All right, so let's go ahead and get these put down. But the first thing I want to think about here is, do I need to mat any of them? I'm worried if I mat the rainbow ones, it's going to really kind of take away from the effect of having it kind of span the page. So that kind of would make me sad if we tried that and it took away from that. But we could mat these two down here. We could mat the map and the picture of my mom and my cousin and my sister and Michael. And I'm going to just trim this map a little bit better so that it doesn't have that unusual border of white around it. There we go. All right. So then the question is, do we want to use a rainbow paper, or do we want to use something else? I think I'm going to go for something else because a solid, I feel like, works better for that. So let me see. What color should we go with? Maybe one of the greens. Okay, hold on. I'm thinking of meadow because it matches some of the green, but not enough. I want the greens still to pop, so I think this will work. I think this will work. Okay, so bear with me. I'm gonna adhere my photos to my cardstock. Then I'm gonna cut it apart, and then we'll get these photos adhered to our pages. I'm going to go ahead and mat this guy too, just so that we don't feel like breakfast is flying through the air. Oh, I was going to tell you about my breakfast. So this is orange flavored French toast with fresh strawberries and various fruit on top. I think it was mainly strawberries, if I remember correctly. And ham and bacon. Oh my gosh. It was so yummy, guys. So so yummy. Okay. All right. just enough to kind of separate those. So let's get these adhered, and then we'll be right back to do embellishing. All right, so for embellishing for this particular layout, I think I'm going to use some of the stickers off of this particular sticker sheet. This is from Echo Park Paper Company here in Utah, and the colors are not exact, like they don't match the reds. There isn't a red, but I think that they go well enough that I think it will be just fine to go ahead and use this to kind of make just a couple of embellishments. It could be said that this is an embellishment enough for this corner down here. I think it would be good to add a little something kind of up in this area and maybe kind of mid-page over here. So that's what I'm kind of looking at probably doing. And I'm liking this little leprechaun guy. I don't really use a lot of the leprechauns in this, but I think they are pretty cute, and so I think we're going to go with that. And sheets like this, I've noticed anything for Ireland tends to lean towards St. Patrick's Day. So you get a lot of stuff like St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, whatever, and obviously I'm avoiding those because that's not what my book is about. But you can still find some really fun, cute things on here, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to go ahead and kind of add this guy in here. As far as journaling goes on this page, there's not a lot of obvious room for journaling. There are some small margins where I could write, but I'm going to be hiding my journaling with something underneath a photo with a tab. I feel like that's kind of the best way to do that. So let's see, what else could we do here? We could do lucky. We are lucky. We feel lucky with the rainbow. We feel lucky for sure. I honestly, I mean, it might have rained on us a lot during this, but I don't remember it raining a lot. So whether that's, a sign of luck or not, I don't know, but I feel like it is because I really don't remember it raining much, which was really good for us because I don't know if you know this or not, but it rains pretty much every day there. Very, very few times it doesn't ever not rain. So, definitely a stroke of luck if you can make it through a whole trip without it raining much on you. And I'm just going to add just a little tiny something here just to kind of bring the colors of the page and of the other embellishments over here to this embellishment. I'm just going to add those little stars and a little blue shamrock, which is the same blue shamrock in these up here. And it matches the blue background on the rainbow paper. So I feel good about it. All right, I believe we are done, and this was a pretty quick one. I feel good about that. It's pretty quick and adds just the right touch, I think. Let me know what you think. I am curious, and I always like to see your comments. So do comment. I appreciate it very greatly. Thanks so much for joining me today. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Enjoy your day.